Look, you've got to call the police.
There's a payphone in back, but it's broke.
Look, you don't understand. There is a maniac trying to kill us.
Welcome to New York.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel, and today I'm going to be talking about Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, released in 1989. So just like my episode on Part 7, I'm going to be doing something different with these videos going forward. Firstly, I'm going to give you production / behind the scenes facts, box office, and ultimately what I thought about the movie overall. So be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe for more content in the future. And without further ado, let's get into it. It's like this. We have reached what many consider to be the worst film in this franchise, but not to me. While Jason Takes Manhattan certainly has its many issues, it is still a guilty pleasure of mine. Even though I called it a dumpster fire in my video covering Freddy vs. Jason, I can still watch this one and laugh at how bad it is because of its so bad it is good quality. In the early stages of development, the initial idea was that Jason would finally be out of Camp Crystal Lake for once. Just imagine seeing Jason in a boxing match at the famed Madison Square Garden, having a chase scene across the Brooklyn Bridge, appearing in other locations like Broadway, and eventually seeing Jason climbing the Statue of Liberty and ultimately jumping off of it. Now keep imagining, because none of that shit was happening due to budgetary restrictions. Director Rob Hedden had written all these ideas in early drafts of the script, but Paramount was like, nah, we giving you $5 million to make this movie. Either take it or leave it. Filming would begin in April of 1989, again another rushed production schedule, as this film would notoriously be shot in Vancouver instead of New York City, with the exception of a few scenes actually being shot in New York on a tight 3-day shooting schedule in the Big Apple. Kane Hodder has stated previously that one of his favorite memories he's done as Jason was shooting the Times Square scene due to the fans on the other side of the barricade off camera screaming and clamoring to get his attention. In this movie, we see Jason resurrected once again thanks to an underwater power line and boards a cruise ship full of graduating high school seniors headed for New York City. He stalks and kills his way through the passengers, eventually reaching Manhattan for the last act of the movie. There is still some fun to be had with this one, but ultimately this movie just feels like a big bait and switch, which left fans disappointed and caused this movie to perform poorly at the box office. And speaking of box office, this movie pulled in $14.3 million on a budget of approximately $5 million. It was released on July 28, 1989, opened at number 5, and earned $6.25 million in its opening weekend. It is still, to this day, the lowest grossing film worldwide in the franchise, and prompted Paramount at the time to sell the franchise rights to New Line. As far as what I liked about Jason Takes Manhattan, these opening credits, man, they set the mood, they set the vibe, they set the tone. I love Darkest Side of the Night by Metropolis. I love this song. I come back to it every now and then. It's just such a good song, man. And you know, you have different shots of where this movie is going to eventually get to. The subway and Times Square and the diner, you know, all these shots with that song playing over it. In my opinion, the best opening credits in this franchise by a country mile. And if you were to say, well, this is where the movie peaks for me, I wouldn't argue against you. I would totally agree. This movie has some memorable kills for me. You have the sauna kill, you have JJ, you know, a character that sticks out to me personally. Her playing the guitar in the bottom of the ship where the engine room is, the boiler room of the ship, and Jason's there. He's slowly creeping down where she is, and she sees him, and she runs, and Jason teleports in front of her with her axe, as in a guitar, and he whacks her in the head. You have that kill. And you have the scene this movie's probably known for the most, which is Julia's fight with Jason on the rooftop. Shout out to actor V.C. Dupree, man, because those shots were real. Those were actual punches from him. He actually blooded his knuckles hitting that hockey mask. It's such an iconic scene, Not only in this franchise, but in horror as well. You have the only brother to step up to the big JV. But all that doesn't matter in the end because Julius is out of breath. He is gassed up, man. He's all blown up. And then he says to Jason,
"Take your best shot, motherfucker."
And Jason's like, "Say less," and takes his head off. And Julius's head flies off the top of the rooftop and rolls on the side of the building into a dumpster. And finally, as short as this scene is, you cannot deny Jason being in Times Square is awesome. That is an awesome shot, an awesome moment. We finally got it. Jason is finally in Manhattan. This is like, what, 5 minutes long, 10 minutes long? It's short as hell, but we made it, ladies and gentlemen. I just love that shot of the camera panning, you know, showing Jason's reaction to being in the middle of Times Square. And also, while Jason's in Times Square, you have that moment where he walks past the punks. You know, he kicks the radio, and then this happens.
"You a dead meat slime bag!" Yo, man, it's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool.
As far as what I'm on the fence about Jason Takes Manhattan, I think the leads here, Rennie especially, along with Sean, they're not really compelling. They don't do anything to make me care about them. They are lovebirds. They obviously have some kind of romantic, you know, relationship between the two. Sean gives Rennie a necklace of the Statue of Liberty, which I thought was cool, but I just don't think they're interesting enough. I think Rennie, for me, is one of the most forgettable final girls in this franchise because everything surrounding her, you know, with Jason and the premise of him being in New York, it just kind of pushes Rennie's arc to the back burner. You don't really care about her, but she does bring a little bit of her own trauma with her being afraid of water, you know, due to her Uncle Charles. And also, I don't know who's worse, Uncle Charles or Dr. Cruz from Part 7. Let me know in the comment section which one of these two is the worst. I got to get the edge to Uncle Charles here, pushing Rennie in the lake and toying with her about Jason, like, you better learn how to swim, Rennie. Jason might grab you. You know, that's kind of messed up to do to a child, sir. Like, that's a traumatic experience. You know she can't swim. His death is also memorable for me, you know, being drowned in a barrel of toxic waste by Jason. And also, not a big fan of Jason's look here. I don't like how moist and wet he is throughout this entire movie. I don't know whose idea it was to make him slimy looking and all this sludgy material that's on him throughout the runtime of this movie. I just don't dig it. As far as what I didn't like about Jason Takes Manhattan, this movie drags, man. This pacing is awful. That's the one thing I hate about coming back to this one, is how long this movie is. 1 hour and 40 minutes. And we get Jason in New York for 10 minutes. It takes a lot of patience to get through this movie. I am just waiting for Jason to get off that ship. I'm waiting for the movie to move past the ship. You know, there are some moments that work, but majority of the time, it's just the same old monotonous activities that happen. Rennie's visions of Jason in this movie, or throughout this movie rather, I can do without them. I don't know why they're here. You know, we're having supernatural visuals now. You can tell these visuals here are meant to compete with the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, which was going strong at this time while the Friday the 13th franchise was plateauing. It's unnecessary. Again, it's a part of her trauma, you know, like I mentioned, but no need for it to be here, at least to me. It's just kind of random and just strange for me. The toxic waste ending, stupid. It's so crazy that this movie tries to explain to you, hey, New York has this toxic waste overflow at midnight. You know, when Rennie and Sean are in the sewer, they run into this technician down there as well, and he tells them the same information. Toxic waste overflows at midnight, and they follow him out of there, and Jason comes out of nowhere and attacks the guy. He kills him, and so Rennie runs away from Jason, lures him away rather, because Sean is knocked out. And Rennie finds this barrel of toxic waste. He breaks it open and throws it in Jason's face. And also, why does Jason sound like an elephant here? Why does he sound like that? But anyways, Jason is staggering down the hallway or down the corridor after Rennie, and Rennie wakes Sean up and they get to the manhole cover, and they climb up the ladder, and Jason is there. Then we get the toxic waste, and Jason looks at it, and he starts talking. He says, "Mommy," and so the water's rushing towards him, and it gets Jason, and it covers him, and all of a sudden, Jason rises out the water. His head is breaking open and stuff, and then as the water clears, Jason appears as a little boy again. Why? What are we doing, man? Okay, whatever. So Jason is a little boy now. You see the mask floating down the sewer. All right, cool. Rennie and Sean climb out, and they also reunite with Rennie's dog. She has a dog throughout this entire movie. And then you see those three just walk off in the distance as the camera pans up, and you get Darker Side of the Night come back, and it closes the movie out. Yeah, this movie's ending is fucking stupid. It's just a bad ending. And finally, in this section, broken record. Mentioned it in part 7 episode, you know, the MPAA involvement in that movie, especially, you know, those kills were cut. I think they shot these kills in this movie in part 8, knowing, you know, that the MPAA was going to be after them. And the MPAA still made them cut it. They still made them cut this movie. So not as bloody, not as gory, you know, quick cuts here and there with these kills. You know, you don't really get to enjoy them, just like every other film in this franchise. Like I said up until this point, MPAA, they don't know how to have fun. But that is it, guys. Those are my thoughts and opinions about Friday the 13th, part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Tell me what you think about this one down in the comment section below. Is this a guilty pleasure for you all? I would say it is for me. Like I mentioned, I can laugh at how bad this movie is. It's so bad it is good. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. And check me out when I do Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. And until next time, guys, I'm Bran. Thanks for watching. Peace.